joining us. It was reality TV in uncharted waters and taking criticism on social media for broadcasting a heart-wrenching breakup to an audience of millions. The emotional roller coaster of the Bachelor finale came to a stop tonight, and fans are still catching their breath. So did it all end happily ever after? Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis.
Ari Lyondike Jr., the 36-year-old bachelor from Arizona, down on one knee for the second time.
Lauren, Elizabeth Burnham, will you marry me?
Definitely.
Tonight's proposal comes after last night's dramatic upset. The bachelor got cold feet.
Oh, no!
After proposing to Becca, the 27-year-old publicist from Minnesota.
Becca, will you marry me?
Of course.
Millions of viewers watch with bated breath, driven to the brink by a shockingly callous bachelor changing his mind.
I've had a change of heart.
You're making me really nervous right now.
Realizing he's really in love with Lauren, the 25-year-old tech salesperson from Virginia.
Do you want to be back with her?
I want to see if there's that possibility.
Are you kidding me? I want you to go.
That was wild. 16 years of this, and that was breathtaking. It's going to take a little bit of time to process all of that, even for myself, who knew it was coming and knew what I was about to see.
I admit, I stayed up late to watch it. It sucked me in.
You're still stunned by it.
I am still stunned by it.
Reaction to the bombshell breakup as the bachelor swapped fiancés was swift.
He is such a jerk. I mean, his jerkiness came through so loud and clear. He didn't make it clear, like, we are done. He made it all about Lauren, which I thought was really rude.
Former bachelors chimed in on Twitter. Benjamin Higgins saying, "Does this mean Jason Mesnick and I are off the hook now?" Sean Lowe saying, "I don't like this one bit. Shouldn't have been filmed." Last season's final rose went to Vanessa Grimaldi. She said, "You do not play with someone's heart like that." Say what you will about The Bachelor, it's produced more than 20 successful couples and plenty of children. 15 years strong, and audiences just can't seem to look away as Bachelor cameras hang on every tear.
I feel like my future was ripped away.
I wanted those things for us too, and I just can't give those to you if I'm in love with someone else.
Well, we're talking about a reality show, right? So I think part of the deal is whatever happens in these relationships gets broadcast to everybody on the show. It becomes part of the show. So in some way, there's no wrong way to have a breakup on these reality shows because it makes it more interesting.
Bachelor host Chris Harrison has been through his share of proposals. He says that after Ari headed home from Peru, he started having doubts.
I heard weeks after that he was still struggling with this decision and he was still fighting it. And he was actually very open in talking to Becca about that. But the things didn't seem to be going that well. And then, several weeks more, he came to me and decided he was going to pull the plug and he was going to do this. He
is a reality show producer's dream. So, I mean, if you were going to create a human being for a reality show producer, it is Ari. He should have said, "I'm not doing this on camera." But it was extremely insensitive. She's crying in the bathroom, and he's like, are you okay in there? No, I'm not okay in here. I'm getting broken up with a million cameramen around.
And even though the drama unfolded all in the same episode, the decision to call things off occurred weeks after the proposal.
He came to me and said, "I can't fake this for another weekend. I can't go through this and look her in the eye for another weekend. And I know I really care about Lauren, and I want to give this a shot."
I think one of the reasons that he loved Lauren is because she was such a weak little soul that was so dependent on him. I felt like he was carrying like a wounded bird around every time they hung out. I mean, they had nothing to say to each other.
What we know about Ari and what he's shown us is that he's an ambivalent guy, and when he makes a choice, it's not permanent. So I would say to this new girl, buyer beware.
Tonight, Becca joined Chris live and tried to put the past behind her.
At the end of the day, he had to do what he had to do and follow his heart.
Becca face to face with Ari, and he finally said he's sorry.
I should not have proposed. I was conflicted, and I needed more time, but I didn't have any more time, and I apologize for that.
So, Becca, do you accept that apology?
I do. Yeah, I do. And I forgive you.
The Bachelor has seen its fair share of fairy tales gone awry. Who can forget this couch confession?
Over the last few weeks, I haven't been able to stop thinking about Molly.
What are you telling me? Are you going to end this tonight?
I have to.
Jason Mesnick famously decided to call it off with Melissa Rycroft after his proposal,
Will you make me the happiest man?
deciding instead to spend happily ever after with Molly. The two would marry and now have a daughter together.
I've been through this a little bit with Jason Mesnick, but as I told Ari, Jason was back in the dark ages. There was no social media. Your life is going to change if you do this.
In tonight's episode, Jason offered Ari some sage advice.
I know.
Don't do this unless you're 100% certain.
Breaking up is now big business in the real world. Dating apps alone comprise a $2 billion a year industry. You can download a heart-healing app called Mend, send the lovelorn in your life an indulgent breakup box, or even enlist a service that takes care of the dumping for you. Amy Chan started Renew, a breakup boot camp, a retreat in upstate New York specifically designed to heal the heart.
So they say that necessity is the mother of all invention. Is that the case for you?
Yeah, so 5 years ago, I was dating someone that I thought I was going to marry and spend the rest of my life with. So when that relationship fell apart abruptly, I completely fell apart. And I realized that there needs to be something to help people who are going through this very pivotal stage in their life.
We were told to bring a journal, so here's my journal. Eye masks, so I don't know what this is for, but I'm excited.
The broken-hearted come here to bond with animals.
Oh, you guys are so sweet.
You're going to feel your body open up gently.
Meditate.
You may notice that there are some spots of your chest that feel pain, stickiness, tightness, loneliness.
And open up in group therapy sessions. 36-year-old Puneet Graywal is still healing from an old breakup.
I dated someone about 5 years ago. He was in it, and then he would just disappear. So that was just crushing for me. I want love and abundance for myself, and I just don't want to have fear anymore. I feel free, I feel so inspired, and most of all, I feel in control.
Thank you.
I think I'm definitely open and ready to find love. For the first time for me, I have that confidence. So I'm definitely going to pick a different type of love, and a love that I deserve.
As for finding everlasting love on television, that still remains to be seen for Ari and Lauren. And for Becca and her Prince Charming,
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce the new Bachelorette, Becca.
we'll have to wait and see. She might just find the one on next season's Bachelorette.
One thing I know for sure, as the host of The Bachelor, is you've never seen it all.
For Nightline, I'm Lindsay Davis in New York.